Well, good morning or good afternoon all. Daniel Harkavy here, CEO and Executive Coach over at Building Champions. Welcome to this month's Champions Edge webinar. I am really looking forward to our time together. One of the downsides of calls like this is just because of the numbers, it's not possible for us to have interaction with voice, but there is the opportunity for you to type in questions or thoughts, and I'll do my best to answer as many of those as I possibly can. Today's conversation, 3 actions every leader must do, is a big one. And before I jump into the topic, I thought I would take care of one housekeeping item, and that is I would let you know of next month's call. Next month, we are going to be having healthy habits that increase productivity. So Coach Tim Enochs and Ginny Reddick are going to be sharing with you some specific tips and strategies and habits that will enable you to increase your personal productivity. So don't miss that. That's August the 22nd, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's going to be a great call. All right, so 3 actions every leader must do. There is a problem that I have seen firsthand and our team of coaches have observed as we get to work with so many business leaders. And the problem is that too many leaders undervalue the discipline of reflecting, a time to assess, to review, to adjust, and to plan. There's not enough value being placed on your thinking. This morning I was with a group of about 60 or so business leaders here locally and talked about this very topic for a bit of our time together. What we think about is so important. And what we're putting into our mind, it impacts our beliefs, which impact our emotions, which impact our disciplines, which impact our results. And reflecting, really looking at where you're at, taking the time out to just ponder and to think and reflect against something, it's not happening enough. And the best leaders have made it a discipline. There's another problem, and that is too many leaders have lost sight of what's most important. They don't have a plan that really connects to what's most important for them as business leaders. What are the most important objectives? What are the most important habits or disciplines or actions that they need to take in their specific role? And what I'm talking about are the actions or the disciplines that you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual basis that will enable you to bring the most value to your organization, the most value to your teammates, the most value to the customers that you serve. You need a plan in place that identifies the improvements that are going to be made, the objectives that are going to be hit, the initiatives that you're working on. And that plan needs to be reviewed constantly. And I'm not seeing enough leaders use this as a resource and an asset that can help them to improve their leadership effectiveness, not just in business, but also in life. And those of you who have been listening to Building Champions for the past 17, 18 years, you've been hearing us talk about life planning. Yes, you need a plan for your life as well. Again, back to this morning, 2 guys came up to me in particular where they're just filled with maybe some anxiety, some fear, some regret because they're not pouring into the areas of their life that are truly most important. And now they've experienced pain. They're experiencing pain because they've gotten off track. Damage has been done. And I got to tell you, guys and gals, you know this to be true. What's going on after hours, what's going on in your marriages, what's going on in your families, what's going on with your health, all of that, it impacts your professional performance. So too many leaders have lost sight of what's most important. The third thing is that too many leaders lack relationships that cause vision stretching and possibility thinking. They don't have relationships with people that are like-minded, that are causing them to see that there's more. You know, there's more opportunity for you. I love what coach and CEO mentor Jerry Baker here says. He says our opportunities are definitely exceed our vision. And I believe that. I think each and every one of us have so much more potential, every one of you. There's more. But you're not surrounding yourself with people that are helping you to see it, helping you to believe it, helping you to stay on track. Of course I'm going to say that. Building Champions, a coaching company, that's what we do. And there's more opportunities. Whether you've got us on your team or whether you've got people around you, you need to make sure you've got some advocates. those that fan the flame, that encourage, that cheerlead. You've got to have these people around you, higher level thinkers, people that have the ability to see what's possible, and they remind you over and over and over again, because the world is filled with people that will try to cause you to remain where you're at, to not make the changes that can help you to bring more value to people, people that they don't want to see you succeed. There's deep embedded insecurities or fears that your success will bring to light in them. We need to have connection with people that will enable us to see what's possible and to know how to get there. So three actions that every leader must do: reflect, plan, and connect. These actions will radically change how you lead, how you connect with people, how you think, how you perform at work and in business. So let's jump into that first one. I want to talk to you about making time to reflect. You know, you guys are busy. Your days are filled with all of this doing. You know, you're doing the 19 different things that you need to be doing, or at least you think you need to be doing in your day. I'm going to tell you that not all 19 are high payoff. You've got to pare those down. But you're busy. You're busy with email. You're busy with, you know, reading the most up-to-date regulations and the corporate changes and what's happening governmentally that's impacting your business. There's so much coming at you. You're doing, and yes, a part of leadership and management is doing. But you need to have a real discipline of thinking. So this discipline of thinking, it needs to be a discipline very much like the discipline of drinking water, the discipline of flossing your teeth, the discipline of going to the gym, the discipline of regular date nights or lunches or breakfasts with your spouse, the discipline of connecting with your kids. You need the discipline of thinking, and oftentimes it is something that is not understood. And I'm telling you, the leaders that perform the best, they have a discipline of thinking. They understand the value of thinking. And what they've done is they've put structure to their thinking. It would be cruel of me to tell you you just need to think more and leave it at that. You need to reflect and think about where you are today organizationally, as a leader, as a man or a woman. Where are you today in comparison to what you see for the future, in comparison to what's possible? Too many times we get stuck and we think that our current reality is what it is, and there is nothing we can do to change it. I love what Dr. Henry Cloud says in his most recent book, Boundaries for Leaders. He says that we are ridiculously in charge. I love that. You know, we are ridiculously in charge. We are absolutely in charge of how we respond. We're responsible and in charge of responsible for and in charge of what we commit to during our days. If we don't have a discipline of thinking, what will happen is we will react and respond to all of the needs, the urgencies, the good things that surround us. Next thing you know, we'll start off, we'll be on track, and 2, 3, 4, 5 years will go by, and we'll be involved with different boards, we'll be on different committees, we'll have committed to different functions, and what we'll realize is that we're doing a whole bunch of good things, but we never measured those good things against any sort of a plan. We never took the time to reflect, to make sure that those good things were the great things. And what will happen is our days will be filled with good things, and we will have neglected the great things. And what I'm talking about are the high payoff activities for your job. You will be overlooked for opportunities. You will miss opportunities. I'm talking about the great things being the intimate moments that you can have with your spouse, the amazing and impactful moments you can have with your kids and your friends, the great things such as taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit, your faith, all aspects of your personhood, because you will react and respond to all of the very good urgencies that come your way. And don't buy the lie that tomorrow you're going to have more time. You've got to take time to think now. It needs to be a discipline now. I was coaching a leader years ago, and one of the things that we were working on was this leader had a health challenge, and that was the leader was addicted to smoking. And one of the biggest barriers for the leader to overcome in quitting smoking was that he loved his smoking breaks. He was a CEO of a national multi-billion-dollar organization. He loved his smoking breaks because they gave him time to get out of the office, to walk, to smoke, but more importantly, to think. Now, that was difficult for me as a coach because I so value health, and yet I so value thinking. So we needed to replace that smoking with another discipline, another habit, something that would enable him to continue with the discipline of thinking. So what are you going to think about? You need to think about where you're at in comparison to your vision. You need to reflect on where you're at in your life in comparison to your life plan. You need to assess how you're responding to the challenges, to the opportunities, to the gaps. You need to have clarity around your vision. And if you have clarity around your vision, then the discipline of thinking enables you to assess your current reality in comparison to that vision, in which gaps will surface. And when those gaps surface, you will then know where to adjust so that you continue on the path to add the most value and be the most successful in all roles in which you operate in. So yes, you need to have things in writing. I'll talk about that more when I talk about plan, but I want to talk still about this discipline of thinking. Years ago, John Maxwell wrote one of his greatest books, and it was called Thinking for a Change. I don't know how many of you have read it, but I would just encourage you to. You know, John's known for his books on leadership, the 17 laws and the 21 rules and all of the different numeric principles that he's brought to us leaders, and so many of those are really, really good. Just some great digestible, actionable concepts in those books. But the book that really impacted me most was Thinking for a Change. And he had done research on how leaders think. And he just did a lot of reflecting on what has enabled him to be such a prolific author. I know that I've got folks on the call from around the country and possibly from different countries as well. And here in the Northwest, in Portland, we have a bookstore called Powell's. And you guys all know that many bookstores have gone under. You know, the whole ebook has really put the hurt on the traditional publisher. But Powell's, being the largest bookstore, I think in the U.S., maybe even the world, I don't know. I was there over the past few days, and it's multiple stories. It's a whole block downtown Portland, and it's awesome. And I walked through there, and I could not believe how many of John Maxwell's books were in so many different sections. The guy has got the gift of authorship and getting great content out there. He's got it down wired. In his book, Thinking for a Change, he wrote about having a thinking place. It is such a critical concept. And he talked about his thinking chair. And years after I read his book, I was over at John's house, and I got to see his thinking chair, and I got to see his home office with all of his files and where he does his thinking. And the guy has integrity. I wanted to see it. I saw it, and it really impacted me. So I went out and I got a thinking chair. And that thinking chair is a chair that is designated for me to sit in and to do nothing other than think and reflect. I'm not there to do my email or my work or other things. It's a chair to sit in and to think and reflect. I love going to the beach. I have a little place on the coast. That is a great place for me to take intentional time to go think and reflect. I love set times for thinking and reflecting. You need to have these times, and I am an absolute believer in your morning routine. Start your day off thinking and reflecting and putting good stuff into your mind, because I said earlier, what you think about impacts your beliefs, which impacts your emotions, which impacts your actions, and then ultimately your results. So start your day off with the routine of thinking, reflecting. For me, it's praying, meditating, thinking about the things that matter most. And then set full days. I call them Sabbath days. And these Sabbath days are a day of just rest and reflection and thinking. And go somewhere special. Make that day a day to really assess where are you in comparison to your plans. This may seem a little bit of a stretch for you, and it's difficult. It's a difficult discipline. It's a muscle. Your mind, your spirit, you're exercising all of this. It's more difficult than taking on a new exercise at the gym, and it can be painful for some. But once you start to make it a discipline of taking this time, I guarantee you that your ability to lead will improve. You will be better at work. You'll be better at home if you make this a discipline. This morning I was sharing with the guys and the guys that I was speaking with that we need to have a discipline of these days. And for some of you, it might be, all right, you're going to take one day a year. And if that's your start, go for it. Others, it's one day a quarter. For some of my clients, it's one day a month. And I would just encourage you to make a commitment of taking a day to reflect and really think about where you're at. You know, the next challenge that we've got is leaders have lost sight of what's most important, and we need to have in writing a plan for what's most important. You need a solid and concise plan that guides you and that really helps you to fill your calendar with the actions that are the highest payoff actions. So at Building Champions, we have a one-page business planning tool. Many of you are users of it. You're creating it quarterly or annually, and I'm an absolute advocate and fan of that, because it identifies your outcomes, your disciplines, and improvements. And if you're reviewing that regularly, those disciplines and those improvements are making their way to your calendar. And if you're repeating those over and over and over again, then you're going to get the outcomes that you'd hoped for. You need a plan that keeps you on track instead of reacting. Oh, a new opportunity, a swing in the market, a new product, a new launch, a challenge, and you're always responding to what's coming at you instead of being intentional and methodical over the long run to lead really, really well. So the second action you need to do is you need a plan that guides you. Don't just hope. You have to get clear on your priorities. The priorities that will enable you to make the best decisions. Remember, all right, leaders, all of the little decisions that you make today, all of the little decisions that you make tomorrow, all of those little decisions each and every day will define your leadership influence and ultimately your levels of success. All of those little decisions that you make, what do you eat? What do you say? How do you listen? What do you operate? What do you work on? Who do you meet with? Where do you grow? What do you say no to? That is a huge one. What do you say no to? All of those little decisions, they're going to be weaved together to tell the story of your business success and your life success. The little decisions matter. The more clear you are in your priorities, the greater the ability you have to say no to all of the good things that get in the way of the great things that you need to say yes to. You know, that's the beauty of our Core 4 model at Building Champions. And some of you have been kicking the Building Champions tires for years and wondering if we're a resource that can help you. And for many, the answer is yes. But you need to understand what you see in front of you. The life plan and the business vision, these are two tools or processes that will walk you through the exercise to gain clarity on what's most important for you. And you'll be able to see with clarity how you want to function, what value you want to add in all areas of your life and in your business with clarity. And once you can see what's possible and what's important to you at some point in the future, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, once you've got targets, then you can assess where you're at today. You can see the gap between current reality of today and what's possible, and then you can identify the specific actions, behaviors, growth areas that you need to be reminded of, that you need to go from concept to habit and discipline with, that will enable you to close the gap and to live more meaningful lives and to lead with more success and influence. So the Core 4 model, those two top quadrants, the life plan and the business vision, give you the power to put together a solid and concise business plan, and then you take from those three, life plan, business vision, and business plan, and you are now clear on your priorities, and then you work to manage those priorities day in, day out, 7 days a week, because you're crystal clear on your priorities. You know what's most important, and you have the ability to fill your calendar with those things. Now, I'm not trying to turn you into robots. You still leave all sorts of time for life and to respond to all of the neat, whimsical opportunities that are going to come your way, the appointments that might be set that you had, they were not part of your plan, people you get to meet. You leave time for those things, and you have that time to be fully present because you've already done what's most important. You've got your priorities done. You've got clarity around those. This is big. 3 actions leaders must take. You need to reflect. You need to plan. You need to review those plans. And then the third thing you need to do, that third action, is you need to connect. You need to reflect, you need to plan, and you need to connect. And you need to connect with the right people. You need to connect with people who will stretch you. You need to connect with people that will cause you to believe and see opportunity. You need to connect with people that will fan the flame. They know there's more for you. They will help you to remember what's most important. You need to have this in your life. And it might be your spouse, it might be some of your buddies, it might be your boss, it might be your teammates, it might be a mentor, it might be a coach. The best of the best have made it a discipline to continually meet with people that stretch them. You know, oftentimes people will talk to me about some of my clientele, and I have to share with you, I have had the opportunity to coach some of the most amazing men and women. I'm blown away that I have had such an opportunity. People will ask, well, what's it like to coach that CEO or that author or that speaker or, you know, that leader? What's it like? You know, do you find yourself scared and do you find yourself, you know, maybe a little insecure? And the answer is, heck yes. I coach people that are so much sharper, smarter, more successful than I've ever been. What blows me away about these people, they might be 20 years older than me. They might have businesses that are 100 times larger than mine. They are open to coaching. They are open to having outside insight so that they continue to improve how they think, to continue to improve how they operate. They believe in that input that enables them to operate at better levels. They surround themselves with those types of people. So I'm going to ask you, who's on your team that's helping you to stay focused on what you need to be focused on? Who's on your team that's encouraging you to be more, do more, improve? Who do you surround yourself with? Who challenges you? Who encourages you? Who shares in the ways that enable you to be more in the future than you are today? Who are those that fan the flame? They speak into your life. They keep you on track. Again, peers, advisors, partners, coaches. So there you have it. 3 actions every leader must do. You must fill your calendar with the discipline of reflecting and thinking. Assess where you're at in comparison to your plans. You reflect, you plan, and you connect with people that will spur you on. You know, I so believe in this that 7 years ago, I put a vision together for an offering that we call The Experience. This September, we will have our 6th experience. It is 4 days of reflect, plan, and connect. It's 4 days where we walk 225 people out in Sun River in Central Oregon, one of the most beautiful places you can be in the country in September. And we walk you through reflect, plan, and connect. We teach, we coach, we cover everything from coaching leadership to selling to life planning to vision and strategy. We've got 2 amazing contributors joining our team of coaches. We have Dr. Henry Cloud coming. We have Donald Miller coming. There's some availability for you to join us. And I just want to encourage you, really consider it. The experience can change your life. I sell it with absolute conviction and passion because I receive all of the emails and the handwritten letters, and I've been receiving them for the past 5 years of how people's lives have been radically transformed by making the investment of time and money to join us at the experience. So I want to encourage you, not all of you, but some of you right now, you need to go to the Building Champions website. You need to look at the experience. You need to look at the agenda and really consider this as being the outside input that you're going to get this year so that you finish the year well and you set your future years up to be on track, confident, proactive, and intentional. All right? So let's talk to those that won't be able to join us at the experience. We will reflect. But for those of you that are not with us, let me give you a specific action. I want you to commit to a certain time of day to reflect, to think. If daily is too much, I want you to make a commitment of 1 time a week. It's Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8:30. I want you to make a commitment to start daily or weekly as a result of today's call. And that in itself might be the only action you take. And if it is a powerful one. Max Dupree says that Leaders have two great responsibilities. First is to define reality, and the second is to say thank you for a job well done. Define reality. Assess, reflect. Where are you today in comparison to what's possible? For those of you that already have that discipline, I want to encourage you. Plan. Have the plan for your life and the plan for your business. Definitely for your business, broken down quarter by quarter. Make that plan an effective tool for you, not something that you did once, you don't review it, but it's something that you did, you review, you adjust because you're reflecting on it, you're assessing. It's a document that impacts what goes into your calendar. I can tell you firsthand, after now 17 plus years at Building Champions, there's so many of you listening to me right now that are saying, I've got the plan, but I haven't looked at it in so long. Therefore, the plan lacks power. Good plans are birthed out of really compelling and clear vision. So for some of you, you need to create your vision, and then you create your quarterly plans out of it. For those of you who have the plan, review it on a daily basis. That's the action. For those of you that don't have the plan, hit us up at Building Champions. I will give you the one-page business planning tool or the life planning tool. Send me an email. Info@Building Champions. Is that where they send it? All right. Info@Building Champions. Put in their life plan or one-page business plan. We would be more than happy to send you those tools. That's your action. For those of you that have set the time, you're thinkers, you're reflectors, you've got the plans, you're reviewing them, I'm going to challenge you to connect with one person. Who's that person that you need to add to your life? That mentor, that coach, that guy or gal that's been there. They see what's possible. They have the gift of exhortation, and every time you're around them, they cause you to believe more. They cause you to see that, gosh, opportunities exceed your vision. Who is it? The beauty of the experience is that there will be 225 like-minded people there to encourage, to challenge. There'll be our team of 17 or so coaches there to teach, to cause you to reflect. There'll be the tools, the time, and the surroundings to make that happen. I want to strongly encourage you to come. For those of you that want to just hear a bit more, I would love for you to subscribe to my blog. Right now, I am writing a book with Michael Hyatt, past client and friend. Michael and I are writing a book on life planning, and you will see in the coming months there's going to be more in the way from me on my blogs. This week, Friday, I'll be putting a blog out on today's topic. I would encourage you to read that. But go ahead and subscribe to my blog, danielharkavy.com. I'm really talking about proactive and intentional leadership and life there. You can follow me on Twitter. If I can make a difference in your life that way, I would love to do so. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at Building Champions. Our number, 503-670-1013. Our website, www.buildingchampions.com. I see I've got a few questions. I know many of you need to run right now. I'm going to stick around for a couple moments to answer some of those questions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move the screen here so we can see those. Why don't you go ahead and scroll all the way to the top. All right, yes, may you get a copy of the business planning tool. You betcha, told you how. Can we access those testimonials about the experience? You bet. Will you do me a favor? Email info@buildingchampions.com, and we will send you testimonial after testimonial on the experience. Let's see. Let's go down. Blog address gave it to you, danielharkavy.com. All right. Thanks for the webinar. I'm glad. Great. Keep going down. All right, y'all. I think we've covered them. I so appreciate you making the investment of time. Join us next month. We are definitely going to hit you on productivity. I think it's going to be a great call. For some of you, consider joining the whole Building Champions team of coaches out in Sun River in September. If there's anything we can do, contact us. I want to encourage you to be proactive and intentional with all of the decisions you make day after day, because it is those decisions that will tell the story of your business success and your life. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.